Do you know what this driveway here is missing? That's right, another project car that's gonna sit on blocks for 6 months. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nick. This is Olsen Auto. I make financial mistakes and I record myself doing it. This is my current big boy project, 79 Firebird. Ignore the lack of everything. This has been my sort of 2021 project. Pulled the whole frame out, redid it. You guys can just click the playlist. I'm not gonna get too in depth. And this is my 93 Jeep Wrangler, and this is my 1990 Honda Prelude. These are kind of the dailies, although they're both currently broken. So instead of fixing them with the money that I have after I sold my CBR 600, I'm gonna go buy another car. Now, obviously you guys can read the thumbnail, read the thumbnail and see the title. I'm gonna pick up a 1988 Ford Mustang foxbody coupe. It's a notchback LX. It's got the 5-liter V8 with the 5-speed manual. It is a factory V8 car. It was never swapped. It may have been swapped, but at least it was built to have the V8, so that's really cool. The only reason I'm buying it is because I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, wow, that looks cool. And now I'm going to buy it. It's like 6:40 in the morning. Gotta head out, get the U-Haul truck and trailer, which is 30 miles that way, and then head 30 miles north, and then head 50 miles back, and then head 30 miles west, and then 30 miles west again to... I need to buy a truck and trailer, and I would say the next vehicle purchase I make is going to be a truck and trailer, but you guys will see next week's video. Long story short, gotta get the car warmed up because I'm already running late because I woke up and started a wall for a half hour. Let's grab the keys, let's warm it up. I got $2 grand burning a hole in my pocket and I'm ready to spend it. I want to shout out a few people for making this trip possible. No, they're not sponsoring the video. Well, they kind of are. Shout out my boy Andrew for letting me use his come along because I can't find mine. I don't know where it went. It's gone somehow. We lost an entire come along. And shout out Grandma for letting us use the CRV. Let's go ahead. Let's go buy a Mustang. Push start, baby. So this right here is the whip. I think it's a 2021 Silverado. As you see, brandy new. It's got 1,600 miles on the dash. Got the truck and trailer all rigged up. Gonna head out. This thing was, I think, 165. We'll say 200. We'll round up because it's got to put gas in it. So $200 to rent the truck and trailer. Definitely be cheaper to buy my own. So some point soon. But this thing's nice brand new truck. It's barely in its break-in period. I could get used to this. Okay, I'm hoping the audio works on this clip. So I just went to edit the video for the foxbody. And I was scrolling through and I went to do like a clip where I zoom out of the camera and then I zoom back into the screen, and I noticed, hey, there's no audio behind this clip, and I'm putting this clip in the middle of the video. There's no audio for the last half of the video, so I'm then gonna put this part at the end. I didn't film it because I never do, but loading up the car and actually buying it, made it back here with the 1988 Ford Mustang foxbody. It's got the 5-liter 5-speed manual. Does need a little bit of work. Obviously this can that can go. Could use some doors, but I have a new door over there, and it needs a deck lid and a lot of other things. It's a project car for sure, and it's kind of a hoopty. The seat's not bolted down, but underneath the car is actually really solid. Let me give you guys a quick little tour. I mean, it's not prettiest right up there, but if you look at like the frame rails over there, it's got all new shocks. It's really solid underneath. So obviously, like I said, it does need some work. Let me go ahead and show you guys the inside. No step. Yeah, don't tell me what to do. So technically the door opens over that. Don't ask me how. It is caged right now, and it's okay. It's not the best quality cage, but it is there. Just a generic bucket seat that's not bolted down. Generic Grant steering wheel. Power steering was iffy at best. And as you can see, a lot of the interior is gone, but the floors are all pretty solid. They definitely need to be gone through, and you know, anything that's sketchy, but the car has no heat, it's got no radio, it's got pretty much no interior. All the stuff in here, like I have the diff cover, I'm gonna throw that on today, but like I said, 5-speed manual. I'll show you guys under the hood in a minute. The car did come with some goodies. The story, however, of me picking up the car goes something sort of like this. I wake up at approximately 6 a.m. and stare at the wall for 30 minutes. I then proceed to go to U-Haul, grab the truck and trailer, which we have right here, 2021, 2022 Silverado, something like that. Get the truck and trailer, drive the hour or so out to the guy's house. Everything goes great. When we got to U-Haul, I may or may not have left the money for the car at U-Haul. So we had to drop the trailer off at the kid's house, drive an hour back to U-Haul, an hour back to his house just so I could pay him. And I didn't even realize that until we got to his house. I was like, all right, got everything, phone, wallet, went to find the money, didn't have it. So I hate myself for that one, and there's a reason we're back here later than I expected, but still have to unload the Mustang and then go drop the truck and trailer off. But once I unload it, I'm gonna go a bit more in depth, show you guys a bit more about it. I'm also gonna give a quick update on some of the other projects and where those are at. But I guess we're gonna do a startup on this thing because she is loud as hell. So I have no idea if that battery's good. Supposedly it's not, but like, I just had the key in, I plugged the battery in, and it started making noises. So I don't know what I'm expecting. Well, I dropped off the U-Haul. I got the Mustang here. Currently looking at it in the driveway. And one thing I'm gonna show you guys, just first of all, the car. I'm gonna give you guys a quick overview before I really get into the Mustang. I'm gonna take like a minute or two, break down what's been going on with the normal daily drivers and the Firebird project, because I haven't made an update on that. So I'm gonna take about a minute or two real quick before I show you guys the car. So in the last video, the car was on its wheels, which is a huge step forward. In the meantime, my radiator support came in, so we got a brand new radiator support sitting under here. Painted the hood latch and whatnot, got all new hardware holding it in. Painted this, painted all this. Got the front bumper on here, again, all new grade 8 hardware. And I painted the fenders just so they would be at least blue for now, looking better than, basically they looked like this with different colors on them because I was testing out paints. Not bolted on yet. I had my door pins, those came in a day or two ago, and once I put the door pins in and I lined them up proper so that both doors function normally, the main idea then is fenders and hood gets bolted down, and once the fenders and hood are bolted down, I'm going to be able to put my Sniper EFI system on it. I'm going to be able to put my Easy TCU trans controller unit on it, do brake lines, my master, my booster. Basically, everything comes down to those door pins, so once I can go ahead and get those stupid things in, we'll be all set. I might take the time and do that tomorrow. Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. That's how the days of the week work. So if I can get that done tomorrow, that would be sweet. I'm going to show you guys the next car, the Prelude, just because I haven't updated or shown it in a video in a little while. The brakes, they're junk. And I knew that for a while, and I was putting it off. It keeps eating rear brakes, and obviously that's a problem. And now I'm not even driving it because you can see how unevenly it wears that rotor. You can see the uneven rotor wear, so that's junk. I gotta pick up 2 new calipers for that. Pretty annoying, but it happens, that's life. The Jeep has a few little minor issues, but nothing really stopping me from driving it. The rear view mirror fell off, so I gotta put that back on. And the bobber, I'm gonna be doing a reveal video on the bobber probably in the next couple days. I'm not sure when specifically it's going to go live, but I will be recording the video pretty soon. You'll notice, besides the pile of chemicals, been cleaning out in front of the garage here. All of this is scrap metal that's going. That's an old Model A-frame we're keeping. But all the scrap metal's going. Finally decided to clean up. I know you guys have seen it in a lot of videos. There's been just a ton of stuff. It's always been like scrap metal, spare car parts, rotors, spare wheels. Like, there's always been this random stuff. We're finally cleaning it up. We're just waiting to get the scrap dumpster here, load that thing up. Then we're gonna get a trash dumpster here, and we're actually gonna be putting another little storage thing right here, kind of like a bike. I'm gonna use this for a bike garage, and then that over there will hold like the lawn tractors and whatnot, but that's besides the point. You will notice in the messy garage, there's no more CBR 600. So earlier today, actually, I saw the guy who bought the CBR 600, my baby, my 94 F2. Saw him twice today out riding around, and I gave him a thumbs up and whatnot. But it's gone, and I will be selling the KTM soon too. Next week, I have a super crazy video coming out. At least for me, it's a huge moment in my life. I bought my first brand new bike ever. It's a 2021. You guys will see that video when it comes out. I'm very, very excited. I gotta drive to New York to pick it up. But you may also notice the bobber is pretty much completely back together. Not only is it back together, the battery actually charges. On this bike, my 1983 Honda Shadow, the battery wasn't charging. I ended up doing a Rick's electric stator and Rick's electric rectifier, and it actually charges now, and it works, and it starts well, and it runs good. So now I'm just finishing up doing all the wiring up front. The custom lights, the fuse box, the little gauge panel I made. I want to do a few bigger changes with it rather than just painting a new seat, grips, and fixing the electrical. But that's where I'm at. Oh, I also have the new Mini Z bars on. So I wanted to do more, but I didn't, and I will at some point for sure. I really want to go white wall tires and maybe a crazier exhaust, just shape-wise, but I have what I have for now, and with no CBR and the KTM still being broken, I technically don't even have a bike to ride. I could ride the bobber, but no headlights, a little bit sketchy. So yeah, the bobber is almost back. Have a reveal video up hopefully this week. The KTM's probably getting sold, but it's getting replaced by something like multiple orders of magnitude cooler. But with all that out of the way, and I will keep you guys updated on the whole garage situation as far as where things are going, and I'll show you guys once it's all cleaned up, because it'll be pretty nice. Let's go jump into the Mustang. Let's put the battery on the charger, because I think the battery's dead. I think that's why it wouldn't start. It started on the trailer, but then it wouldn't start. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's wrong with this car. So I put the multimeter on the battery, read like 11.7, 11.8. Not really ideal, so I got it charging right now. Thankfully, the battery was made less than a year ago. It looked like it was October of 2020. So the battery should still be good. I hate having to buy batteries just because they're expensive and they're not cool, right? Like long tube headers, 150, 200 bucks for a cheap set. They're cool. You know, some upgrade parts can be bought for 200 bucks and they're cool. Batteries aren't cool, but you need them. And it's one of those parts that sucks to buy. It's like oil. It's not really cool, but you need it. So I'm gonna show you guys a Mustang and I'm gonna let you take a wild guess what I think the first thing wrong is. You'll notice the car kind of looks like it's ready to launch. Now, some of this could be attributed to the fact that this tire is completely flat. Usually the front end with the engine sits a bit lower. We have about that much gap, I would say, I don't know, 6 inches, give or take. And then you go over to the rear, which not only has hella camber from that flat tire, but nowhere near as much gap. Everything in the suspension of this car is pretty much loose. Like, let's just pick a bolt here, this one. Like, are you kidding me? Either I have grip strength of godlike deities, or, you know, nothing's really tight. Some of it is, some of it isn't. I'm gonna go over some of the issues in the engine bay, but right now, I guess I'm gonna go over the exterior of the car. You'll notice has these doors on. These are off an 83. Now, the car is originally a power window car. Again, this is a 1988, but it was a power window car. Got all the harness right here. He did cut the wires, but he cut them on the door side, so we're good there. Has crank doors in it now. He had 2 Fox bodies. One was his personal car, and one was this one. Someone saw his posts of the car originally and said, hey man, give you 500 bucks for those power window doors. So I can't really blame him for selling the doors, because 500 bucks is a stupid amount for power window doors. They were clean. However, I think I got a cleaner set right here, or at least one door for now. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. It's a power window door, no door panel, but I am gonna get a custom set made. There's a guy online, LRB I think, LBR, something like that. Makes custom aluminum door skins, super flat, and the car is caged, so that'll be ideal. But it's got all the motors and all the electronics. It is very green, but it's a Florida door. Absolutely no rust. The door is immaculate. I paid 60 bucks, so I actually bought the door before I even picked the car up. I bought the door yesterday on Saturday, so that's interesting. And I got to get a passenger door, because a passenger door in this car, well, you guys will see. It's it's unique in its way. A deck lid is needed. Up front, now this is a notchback. This is a coupe. This is the better Mustang, to be quite fair. It has a GT front bumper. These cars never came as a GT, and I don't like the GT front bumper. So if you guys are selling an LX coupe front bumper for an 88 Fox body, hit me up. Obviously, I also need headlights. It looks like the harness is all here and in somewhat okay shape, which is a big plus. I'm gonna get some nice one-piece headlights, because some of these came as 3-piece. I don't know how that worked. I've done very little research about these cars. I have the general idea, and my dad, when he worked at Ford, basically worked on them when this car came out, so he has a really good idea on how to work on them. So I'm thankful for that, but obviously she's gonna need some work, and I still need to look some things up. But another thing you'll notice is the side exit exhaust right there. Now, that is kind of badass, I'll be honest. If it wasn't diamond plate right here, I would almost reckon I'd keep it. I'll show you guys when we jack the car up later. It does have the mufflers cut off right there. You guys heard that thing was loud as hell. I kind of like it being obnoxiously loud, to be honest, but where it dumps is very loud. And you'll notice in the interior, I'll get rid of some of that junk in a minute, we have this wall here that he built because the exhaust actually came up through the floor and then out the side of the car. Now, that's probably not how I would have done it, because I probably wouldn't run the exhaust out the car, but it is kind of cool in its own way. I want to make this car clean, but obviously, being that it's already missing most of its interior, I can't really make it too clean. Like, the amount of money I would have to dump into this car, and the fact that I really already dumped close to 12 grand or so into the Firebird, 8 grand, some stupid amount, making the Fox body the same exact thing doesn't really make sense. Now this is sort of going to be a pro touring, super clean interior, super sound deadened car that's loud and fast. I'm thinking this one might just be loud and fast. Okay, I put some gas in the old Mustang because I think it was empty. Fuel pressure gauge read nothing. That's assuming the fuel pressure gauge is hooked up. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So I got the wheel off, pumped it full of air, not sure if it's even gonna hold. So I took out all of the junk besides, you know, the battery. This is what the car essentially came with. There's an ACT clutch or flywheel box. So probably got a clutch at some point, but I honestly couldn't tell you if it ever did. It's got these RCI harnesses, which were made in 2002, literally before I was born. So I don't know how solid those are. So the audio cut off, like I said earlier in the video, guys, but I was just going over a lot of the things, like how the harnesses expired before I was born, and there's definitely going to be some work that needs to be done to this here Fox body, but so far it seems like a very solid car. I figured out some of the issues, such as why the front corner is sitting so high. That is because the spring isn't sitting in the little pocket on the lower control arm, so I just got to fix that. Not a big deal. Hopefully, not a big deal. If I can't get it in, my excuse to buying lowering springs, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. You can always unsubscribe at any point in the future if you want to. But if you guys are interested in watching the build on the Fox body or the continuation of the Firebird build, like I said, you guys, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I upload, I don't know, like once a week, once every 2 weeks, give or take. So I try to make sure each video is big and productive, and buying a new car is just like that. If you guys did like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, if this audio clip worked. I don't know, I gotta go buy a new microphone now.
Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this. Back then they would laugh when I say shit. Now I'm inside all them people's playlists. So one day I'll be stomping.